What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Hart, and today I'll be breaking down this four-game NBA playoff slate. That is right, we are now in the NBA playoffs. Can't wait to watch these games. Super pumped for it. So I'll be breaking down these games, going game by game breakdown, as well as an early look core play look for all four of these games. So make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. This will be a pretty quick video, so make sure to tune in, and we'll get into this breakdown right now. This is going to be a pretty quick video, guys. I know these games start in less than an hour, so I'm just really going to try to get this out to you guys pretty quick here and just kind of do a very quick breakdown. Apologize for not having a video out yesterday and kind of being, late on the video today. Just dealing with some stuff, so I haven't really been able to kind of focus on these videos, unfortunately. But moving forward, I should be good to go back on normal with the prize pick and the NBA DFS breakdown videos. Starting for the following day. I think there's more games tomorrow, so I should be good to go for that. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, this is going to be a quick one here for the Lakers side. I think the it's obviously a pretty easy breakdown here for the Lakers. Davis and James, LeBron, AD, they're both fantastic spend ups. If I had to lean towards one, maybe I think slightly prefer I'd slightly prefer Anthony Davis. Or I don't know. I'm super torn. I think I slightly prefer LeBron over Anthony Davis. I mean, they're pretty much the same price tag. They pretty much have the same ceiling. I think LeBron's just a tiny bit safer, just in terms of just his production with rebounding, assists, points. So I think they both look great. In terms of the rest of the team, I don't have much interest. Like, I think Russell is a fine option there in the mid range. Like, he should probably play close to 30 minutes, maybe a little bit more. It would help if there's no Schroeder. He's questionable, so if he's out, Russell will probably see some more minutes. It obviously secure some more minutes for Reeves. They both be fine options. I think I prefer Russell, but otherwise, I just don't have much interest in the Lakers side. It's just like everyone's kind of priced about right. It's really just the LeBron and AD show. Maybe there's a third option like a Russell Reeves who does well, but it's just like they're too priced up to the point where it's not worth it taking a shot on them. Unless they're kind of like a final piece in. It's like you just kind of land on them. So for that reason, really just prefer LeBron and AD. Russell's fine, Reeves is fine. Other than that, maybe you can land on Vanderbilt if he starts. They'll need his defense, but yeah, not much I like right here on the Lakers side besides the main two. So I think right now I'm going to throw LeBron in. On the Memphis side here, really the price tags are just kind of too high for me. Like, I think the Morant it's a fine price tag. It's a fair price tag for him. Obviously, we know the ceiling with him. It's 50 plus, 60 plus, depending on how he's shooting and scoring. He's triple double upside. But like in terms of like Jaren Jackson Jr., 9,600 for him just feels very expensive. Same thing with Bain at 8,600. Even Brooks 6,100. It's just like even Jones. It's like all four of these guys are just way too expensive for their roles. Tillman's going to be starting, so it's not like Jaren Jackson Jr. is going to be getting the center run, which really benefited him. So now he's going to be the power forward. Not going to see. He'll probably see 30 to 35 minutes, depending on if he's in foul trouble, maybe less if he's super foul prone this game, which he has to guard AD, or maybe they have Tillman guard him. But yeah, right now not much interest besides Morant for me. I think everyone else they're fine options. I think I could see people landing on Jaren Jackson Jr. taking a shot in Bain. Not Brooks, dude sucks. Not Tyus Jones. It's way too expensive for a backup point guard now. But yeah, right now it's really just gonna be Ja Morant for me. I do like Luke Kennard a good amount. His minutes have been very, very solid. Obviously, there's been a lot of games with like Ja missing, Bane missing, and he's played a ton of minutes because of that. But I think we expect 20 plus minutes, maybe closer to 25. He's been super productive. So I think Luke Kennard looks super solid. And then Xavier Tillman, he should get the start. So I think he sees 20 plus minutes. He looks very, very solid here. Having to guard AD, he's just a guy who obviously not going to be super offensive minded out there. He's just more of a guy that can stuff the stat sheet. So I think those three are my favorites. Maybe you could take a shot on Santi if there's some foul trouble with like Jaren Jackson Jr. or Xavier Tillman, but that's really it's. Moving on to Miami. Miami side, it's really just gonna be the main three for me. Lowry came off the bench last game, 20 minutes. If Vincent's out, obviously it secures more minutes for Lowry. It'd make him more viable. And then maybe we get some Victor Oladipo off the bench, who is obviously still a very risky play. Even if there is no Vincent, I could definitely see a route where they still don't give Victor Oladipo a ton of minutes. But I think he definitely move into that like dart throw consideration if there is no Vincent. But obviously, if there is Vincent and there is Lowry, really, I just prefer getting to one of the main three guys on Miami, and that's really it. On the Milwaukee side, good amount of interest in Milwaukee. Giannis is very cheap here on a four-game slate. Obviously, there's not a ton of value in these playoff slates just because everyone kind of condenses their lineups. They don't really run like the 9, 10, 11 land rotations like we're used to seeing in the regular season. But if you can, if you feel fine with a few different value plays, Giannis looks like probably the best spin up on the slate. Obviously, not the best matchup versus Miami, pretty slow paced game. So maybe that it bumps down his ceiling a little bit, but I think Giannis looks very solid. Drew's a very solid contrarian option in the mid range, the upper mid range. Same thing with Middleton. I think Middleton's a very, very sneaky and solid option there at 8,000. Brook Lopez, we know he's upside, and I do like Bobby Portis a good amount there at 6,000. So I think the two that stand out to me are obviously Giannis and Bobby, but I really like Middleton and then Holiday and Lopez. You can definitely make a case for them. So I think all five, six of those guys look very solid. Don't mind landing on them. Yeah, that's kind of my take there. Moving on to the Lakers side, or excuse me, the Clippers side. I really like Kawhi Leonard, really like Russ, really like Powell and Zubac. Kind of the four main guys. I have a ton of interest in all four of them. They all should see very solid minutes. Zubac obviously is the only one that his minutes are kind of all over the place, but with Ayton on the other side, I do think they'll run Zubac out there a good amount, hopefully 25 plus minutes. And at 5,400, he can easily, nuke the slate if he's doing very well. So I think those four, good amount of interest. And there is some rumors going around that Covington may start and guard KD this game. So I might build around the fact that he may get the start. If he does, he's a great value piece there at 3,500. But if he doesn't, then I really don't have any interest in any of these wings. Maybe you could take a shot in Batum, but I'd rather just stick with the main four guys. On the Phoenix Suns side, Durant's just way too cheap there at 9,000. I think Booker's a little bit too cheap there at 9,100 as well. Paul and Ayton, both solid mid-range options. I think I prefer Ayton a little bit over Paul, but I think all four look great. Other than that, no interest in the rest of the team. It's really just kind of the four main guys. It's their show, and that's it. Moving on to Minnesota, Anthony Edwards, Towns look great. I still prefer Towns over Anthony Edwards just because Towns is a little bit cheaper, even though he's a little bit more foul prone. But I think both of them look great. They should lead this team. Gobert, Anderson, Conley, all fine options. You don't feel great about them. Their minutes did come down. Um, so yeah, it's no real interest in any of the secondary options besides maybe NAW if he starts again. He got that random start. Got 36 fantasy points, was super productive. So I think if he starts again, I think it's a fine option. If he comes off the bench, I think he's an okay value option at 4,000. So really just depends on what goes on with that. And then moving on to Denver, really, really, really love Jamal Murray. There's 7,600. I think the price tag is a little bit too cheap for him here in this matchup against Minnesota. Great matchup. I think Jokic looks great as well. I don't mind landing on Gordon or Porter Jr. I think they both would be super, super low owned and contrarian options for this slate. And it's a great matchup overall just for this Denver side. So really, really like Denver. I think they look really, really strong. Jokic and Jamal Murray. Gordon and Porter Jr. are pretty solid secondary options. I don't think I'd get to anyone else. Bruce Brown's kind of priced up. KCP's kind of priced up as well. So I think I stick with the main four, but yeah, they look great as well. And these are going to be the four core plays for me today: LeBron, Towns, Kevin Durant, and Jamal Murray. Obviously, it does not lead you with a ton of cap space to fill out the rest of your lineup. So you'll probably end up having to kind of take one of these guys out. If I had to take someone out, it'd probably be Towns. And still, 4,500 is not a lot to work with on a slate, even a 4-game slate, but it's a playoff. So let's wait and see, what kind of happens with that Robert Covington news. Hopefully he starts. We get some value there and kind of build around that. So yeah, right now, three core plays are going to be Jamal Murray, Kevin Durant, and LeBron James, and that's going to be the video. So make sure to hit that like button, subscribe. Be back on track tomorrow. See you guys, and thank you for tuning in.